In a village nestled between golden plains and a singing river, there lived a girl named Adanna. Her beauty was the subject of every song. Her eyes held the darkness of blessed soil, and her smile, when she chose to grant it, was said to rival the sun. Yet, the songs often ended with a sigh. For Adanna's heart was a small, locked room. She loved only her own reflection, found in still water and polished brass, and her pride was a thorn that pricked the entire village. Welcoming hearth, radiant with a light that touched everyone. She would discard gifts from eager children, calling their hands dusty. She turned away suitors with a flick of her wrist, finding one too short, another too poor, all unworthy of a jewel like her. The elders warned, "A beauty that does not warm others soon chills the heart that holds it." But Adanna only listened to the whisper of her own vanity. One afternoon, by the river where she often admired herself, her reflection in the still water did a strange thing. It smiled before she did. And the elders who once shook their heads now smiled and said, "See, the most beautiful clay is not that which shouts of its own color, but that Adanna." The watery image spoke, its voice like reeds rustling. "You are a portrait, not a person. True beauty flows. Yours is trapped." Shaken, Adanna fled, dismissing it as a trick of the light. But the words nestled in her mind like a burr. Her need for a new water jug led her to Kofi, the potter. His hut was humble at the edge of the village, but within creations of clay lived on his shelves. Pots strong and graceful, bowls simple but perfect. Kofi himself was not like the other men who stared. His eyes were calm, his hands marked with the earth's dust. He looked at her face, then into her eyes, and saw something that made him neither stammer nor boast. Kofi handed her a vessel that was smooth, strong, and beautifully plain. "A jug's worth is in how well it holds water," he said gently. "Like a heart's worth is in how well it holds kindness." The statement struck her like a physical thing. Annoyed, yet fascinated, she bought the jug and left, his quiet presence lingering in her thoughts. A change began, slow as a river shaping stone. She noticed Kofi again, not his looks, but his deeds. She saw him giving his best pots to widows, asking only a story in return. She heard his easy laughter with children as he taught them to shape clay. She watched him mend a fence for a neighbor without being asked. His life was a tapestry of quiet service, and it possessed a beauty that her still, cold reflection did not. Then came a night of furious storm. Wind howled, and rain attacked the village. A leak sprang in Adanna's roof. As fear gripped her, a lantern's glow cut through the darkness. It was Kofi, checking on the elderly couple next door. Seeing her distress, he braved the lashing rain to prop up her roof. When he came inside, soaked and shivering, she offered him a mat by her fire. "Why?" she asked, her voice small against the storm. "Why help me? I have never offered you a drop of the kindness you give so freely." He smiled, the firelight softening his features. "The rain falls on the just and the unjust, Adanna. Should kindness be any less? We are branches of the same tree." In that moment, something broke open inside her. The locked room of her heart flung wide. She saw not a humble potter, but the most beautiful soul she had ever known. Her famed beauty felt like a painted mask. His glowed from within like a steady flame. She had fallen in love. The next morning, she found him by the river, gathering clay. Her proud posture was gone, replaced by a vulnerable grace. "Kofi," she began, her eyes on the ground. "My beauty was a shell, empty. You have shown me another kind, one that builds and gives and flows." Finally, she looked up, her eyes clear. She glanced at the water, seeing their two reflections side by side. Her own, once so cold, now seemed softer, warmed by his presence beside her. The river seemed to sigh in approval. Kofi took her hand, his touch firm and true. He did not take it because she was the village beauty, but because he saw the genuine beauty of her changed heart. "A heart that learns to bend," he said, "becomes the strongest vessel of all." From that day, a new Adanna walked the village paths. She who once spurned gifts now gave them, helping to grind grain, sharing stories with the elders, her laughter joining Kofi's as they worked. Her beauty did not fade. It transformed. It was no longer a distant, cold moon, but a welcoming hearth, radiant with a light that touched everyone. And the elders who once shook their heads now smiled and said, "See, the most beautiful clay is not that which shouts of its own color, but that which allows itself to be shaped by good purpose and fired in the kiln of humble love. For that kind of beauty endures, grows, and gives shade to all, like the great, everlasting baobab tree."